Hmm. We're a little bit slow on the draw today. The algorithms is not sending out the alerts. See a couple people we got in here right now. Make sure you do the each one, teach one. Uh, hit the like button and share this on your other pages, your Facebook and your Twitter. Text the brothers, whatever you gotta do. Because you know how it is. The What Did I Miss crew come in, got a little bit of science, still a little bit of science. See what is going on. The people that's in here right now, though, did y'all hear about the brother that got shot in, uh, I think it's Columbus, Ohio? Did anyone see that on the news? This story right here. Did anyone see this? I saw that in the New York Post today. Is anyone else privy to this little tidbit right here? Apparently, yeah, somebody, I'm not sure because it's a very, they didn't go into very many details. You know what I'm saying? But it did mention something about somebody got suspended or fired or something because they didn't have their body camera on. Was there like what was the details? Now this right here is Columbus, Ohio, I think they said. I know it was Ohio. Yeah, Columbus, Ohio. This is shocking body cam video shows a police officer in Columbus, Ohio, gunning down an unarmed black man holding a cell phone, opening fire within just 10 seconds of encountering him. Columbus police officer Adam Coy was dispatched around 1:30 a.m. Tuesday to a non-emergency call about a man who had been idling a car, repeatedly turning it on and off in the Cranbrook neighborhood. Shortly after the officers arrived, the black man, later identified as Andre Maurice Hill, 47, who had been inside a garage, approached him on foot while holding a cell phone in his left hand and his other hand not visible. Footage from Coy's body camera then showed him opening fire on Hill just 6 seconds after Hill entered the frame. No audio is available since Coy did not activate his body camera until after the shooting, which only captured video due to an automatic look back feature. Without audio, it's unclear whether Coy yelled any commands at Hill. Hill's right hand isn't visible in the footage, but authorities said no weapon was recovered from the scene. After being shot, Hill lay on the ground for several minutes without any officer on the scene providing aid. He died less than an hour later at a nearby hospital. In a statement, Police Chief Thomas Quinlan called it a tragedy on many levels. Most importantly, a life has been lost. Quinlan said he has suspended Coy, a 17-year veteran, requiring him to turn in his gun and shield pending an internal review and investigation by state authorities. So did anyone else? So Willie D mentioned it. Whoa. John King said months ago, I mentioned a former high school teammate of mine as a police officer. He killed an unarmed man back in 2017. Killed another man a week ago. Hmm. That's that's crazy. And what's been his like his is there any consequences for this? That's crazy. That right there is crazy. Dartmouth said, as a child, I was taught to run from them on sight. It's different nowadays. But I saw that, and that's what kind of prompted to the title of today's live: social power before social equality. So he got fired. He can still go work in the next town over, but it prompted the title of the live, right? Social power before social equality. You know, maybe I should have worded it as a question a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Are we doing this out of order? You know what I'm saying? Like, are we asking for social equality before we have social power, right? And then that's being, you know, a hindrance to us achieving the social equality. You know, like the uh, minor amounts of social equality that we was allowed to to share in has been to a certain degree because we had the power to help the Democratic Party get elected. And so you notice, just like with this cycle right here, like I keep saying, the whole primary season, I'm talking about from the election, the primaries, the Democratic primaries, the Republican primaries, right? Reparations was a super big idea. You know, people was being kicked off of the stage if you didn't raise your hand when they asked, would you be willing to deal with reparations? Which, kind of illustrates what I'm saying is that, yeah, at a time when we have a power that they need, now you want to come and address our issues. You know, you know, uh, all of a sudden now, racism boils down to voter suppression. But they pander to us in the time when we have the power to do something. Jack King said, I recall the second grade in '93. Our PE teacher taught us not to run because they would shoot us. We can stand still or do jumping jacks and still have the same result. I mean, first of all, that's crazy. That you know, you in school having to be told that. You know what I'm saying? Like when you just think of that idea, like see your second graders, in school is having to hear about this kind of thing. But you know, in general, what do y'all think of that um question right there? You know what I'm saying? Are we asking for, or not asking, but are we trying to achieve social equality before we have social power? You know what I'm saying? Power that has to be respected. And so you better be, you know, you better be just you better be just in your dealings, you know, whatever equality that you share with us, you better be just in that because, you respect our power in the society. You know what I'm saying? And like when you look at all the things, you know what I'm saying? Like there's power in unity. So when you look at the civil rights movement, the 60s and all of that, brothers coming together, marching, that's demonstrating a certain amount of power. It may not, necessarily be that these people, it may not necessarily be that, these people could go against the, United States military, but it's demonstrating power. And, uh, kind of the segue off, you know, into, you know, uh, power, is developed through discipline. You know what I'm saying? Mentally and physically. Like when you're doing knowledge to the military, right? What's the first thing they showed them how to do? Well, I ain't gonna say the first thing because I ain't never been in the military. But I'm saying when I see it on TV, right? The first thing they showed them how to do is move as a unit. Like they do the marching drills. Everybody step, 10 hut left, 10 what, you know, uh, when they doing their push-ups, they doing them in unison. So when they come into whatever location in a certain formation, you know what I'm saying, and have that discipline to maintain that formation, right? Then, you know, the people see the power in that. So saying, you know, uh, you know, to take it back to what I was saying about the 60s, or not really take it back, but to look at it from that time period, right? And to look at our own social equality as the original people, right? Have we have we lost the certain discipline within our social equality, right? Within our community, right? To demonstrate any type of power, right? That's worthy of being respected to the level where individuals see that, yo, we got to deal in social equality with these people, you know. Have we, and this is just one of the questions, right? That spring off of this is not the point of what I'm saying, right? But speaking in terms of the discipline that we have, right, to, stick to the principles, right, of having justice and equality amongst ourselves, right? Have we made it too easy for them to say, well, what about black on black crime? You know, and on and on and on. That's just one example, of a you know something that we didn't remain disciplined in our values. You know what I mean? To where once upon a time, you know we used to be able to say, well, look, black people don't really do that. Like you might see a couple, but you're not going to see a whole bunch of black people doing certain things. That was a certain discipline that we had in our society. That, don't get me wrong. And here's another question. You know, a lot of that discipline that we had within our community before, right, was based on the church. So you know, in our you know, awakening, right? You know, so now we left behind the religion, and we left behind, with that religion, we left behind an aspect of, what's holding us back, right? But now, you know, when you're dealing with a society, when you're dealing with a whole bunch of people like that, there's always a baby in the bathwater. So did we throw out the baby, you know what I'm saying, of the principles of just being just, true, and righteous, and having certain principles, on our own, that develop, what I'm saying, uh, that give us a foundation, and develop a foundation to develop our power. Because, uh, the way I'm looking at it, is that, after the whole 2020, all the protests, all the, looting, the destruction, all the news stories, we didn't really get no change. And, what brings about change? Power. You gotta be able to apply some type of force, right? You gotta be able to apply some type of force in order to bring about displacement. Displacement means to move something from here to there. As W said, power mathematically before equality works for me. We know it ain't equality with them in control, or else it wouldn't have to be questioned. So where is it, you know, question to the room. All of these is questions to the room. I don't, y'all ain't really giving no answers. But where are we losing the power? You know how you got a cord, you know what I'm saying, and the cord ain't working, and then you find there's a short in the cord. You know what I'm saying? Or, you heating up your house, right? And it's not getting warm, and you notice, oh snap, the window's open over there. Or you got the air conditioner on. Oh, this is where we losing the cool air right here. This is where, what I'm saying, the idea that we trying to manifest, this is it. So what I'm saying is, we don't have no shortage of ideas. We don't have no shortage of motivations. You know what I'm saying? Every story that we seen, from Breonna Taylor to the brother just now, in Columbus, Ohio, you know, to, uh, You a 5%er, and your duty is to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? You know, you from whatever other nation. You know what I'm saying? They can speak for themselves on, what motivates them to do what they do. We got what, 40 million people? How many original people is in the wilderness of North America right now? So where is the power being lost? See, there's something that we taking on face value. And, I'm saying that from a standpoint of just mathematically speaking, right? I got some ideas that I can manifest, of course. You know what I'm saying? But, in everybody's own sight, you know what I'm saying? Sight meaning the third eye as well as the physical eyes, right? Where are we losing the power? You know what I'm saying? The power to bring about a change, right? In our situation and condition. And it's been going on long enough, you know what I'm saying, that we should be able to look back, you know what I'm saying, at everything what happened. Just like a person could look at their life, right, and say, well, yo, you know, uh, when I got involved with this situation, that situation, and then I got locked up, so I didn't finish high school, and then I never picked up a trade. You know what I'm saying? So now that's why I don't have the power to produce certain economics. I'm just saying an example. You can look back and see where you lost your power. You know what I'm saying? And you came into the kindergarten, at least in your area, let's say, well, the way school is in New York, I don't know, other places maybe you got bused to another area, but I'm saying, in New York, we go to school for the most part based on our neighborhood, unless you're in some type of Catholic school or private school. So we know that there's a lack of social equality. There's, all these inequities. But I'm talking about the kids that you went to school with from your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? As you grow older, you see some people be successful in their overtakings and some people be unsuccessful. But they all started out with the same potential on the first day of kindergarten. So, from whatever perspective, you know what I'm saying? Meaning, you don't have to necessarily pick from 2020. You could even go back to the 60s and say, okay, since civil rights, like I said, if you look at that as, I don't want to say the scale was level, but, you can't say that there was opportunity that we could have taken advantage of. Even though they was making a play on the other side to negate any benefits we would have got from that. There's a difference between, uh, look, we say try is to fail, and I agree with that. But here's the thing: there's a difference between just failing by default because you didn't do nothing, right, and trying something and failing. Like it's okay to say, look, uh, you know, there was a wall there, so I couldn't get over it. But what did you try? Did you try to get a ladder? Yeah, I got the ladder, but the ladder wasn't tall enough. The ladder only went halfway up the wall. Oh, all right. That's different. Catch up here. El Devon came in the building. That's interesting. How you see that, Dartmouth? It appears every 30 years the original man creates a social conscious change. So that would put us about due for one right now. I'm asking. I'm saying, if you look at the '60s, of course there was some social change. So 30 years from that would have been the '90s. What was the social change in the '90s? And then, you know, add on to that idea. There's no pillars or men around could be the culprit. I mean, yeah, that's one of the things. You know what I'm saying? I could definitely see that, because like I said, there's power in unity. You know what I'm saying? And the root word of uh unity is unit. You know what I'm saying? And then, the basic unit of society. You know what I'm saying? What we talking about right now, social power, we talking about power within the society. Social equality, we talking about an equal society. You know what I mean? The basic building block of the society is the family. So without question, that would qualify as a place where, there's a short there. You understand what I'm saying? The energy can't flow like Divine is saying, El Divine is saying right here, the energy can't flow from the determined idea to the action, you know, and that's the crux of it. Like I said, we got the ideas, you know. If you want to go with the ADOS and the political movement, if you want to go with Claude Anderson and the economic movement, if you want to, you know, go with any number of organizations in the religious movement, you know what I'm saying? There's all different ideas. You know what I'm saying? But then we don't see, you know, effective action. As I was scrolling in the comments, I seen somebody put work equals force times displacement. So what that means is if you just go over there, right, and push on the wall, like a concrete wall, you just go over there and push on it with all your might. But the wall don't move. You didn't do no work. You applied force, right? But it was ineffective, and so you got no displacement. So force times displacement equals work, right? Force, you can put whatever number you want there. The displacement is zero. And any number multiplied by zero is what? Zero. So you did zero work, which gets back to what I'm saying about 2020. We've seen all this commotion out there, you know, protests, you know, revolts, scuffling out there in the streets, all that. But then when, you know, I look at the uh, New York Post and I see, you know, cops shoot an unarmed black man within 10 seconds of encountering him. It brought that question to mind. Maybe we doing things out of order, trying to achieve social equality before we've established, you know, and built social power. Like in particular, you know, me being from New York, that's part of the history of New York. It's how many different groups, you know what I mean? I'm talking about from the Jews to the Irish to the Italians to the Germans to the Dutch to whoever, you know, the British. They all first had to manifest some type of social power, and then they achieved measures of social equality. John King said, being above correction, can't nobody judge me. There's power in correction and being able to correct each other, just like it's a pen seeing us being corrected by colored people. Hmm. That is, you know, part of what I was saying too. I agree with that. That the certain standards that we had in our community, now there's the standard really, uh if you achieving some measure of money and or fame, then for the most part there's at least going to be a segment of society that's saying, look, I ain't mad at you. If you achieving some level of, you know uh social success, that just about anything you do, you could justify it with that. Hmm. Mr. Green once said, fighting for integration, we became less concentrated in our power. John King said, integration created gaps the previous generation didn't really grasp what the younger generation was going through. My parents weren't taught by colored people, so they didn't have as many issues with their teachers as we did. All right, right, born. Yeah, that's you know, uh, that's it is, and there's that's related to what I'm saying, where we got shifted to a new standard. See, because one thing about those segregated schools, right? The teachers knew your parents. Like the teachers was the same people from the church. So not only, uh, did they know what your standards were because they knew you and they knew your whole family. They knew how to enforce those standards. You see, I'm not going to go down to the principal and get you in that type of trouble. But when I get home, I'm gonna put a call in to your grandmother. You said poor righteous teachers was number one. Um, Now you just talking about the general shift of probably right now. Probably for the last 30 years, hip hop has probably been the most dominant force in all of culture. You know what I mean, worldwide. So you're talking about the general shift. You know what I'm saying, of that from I you gotta get out of here with that Queen Afua stuff today. We don't want to hear about that right now. Shout out to Queen Afua. This is a Hotep channel, but we're not talking about that right now. It's the green one said, indeed, work smarter, not necessarily harder. Once a welfare state brought forth by integration killed black organization, toppled with multiple drug placements, took the fathers out of the house, and people started to depend on the state, creating a new generation. That's definitely uh, you know, because the welfare state uh, it turns everybody into dependents. You know what I'm saying? And so, when you get to, like you got man, woman, child, right? The child could be male or female, the father's male, the mother's female, right? So, what's the difference between those males that are children and those males that are the father? Is the amount of responsibility that they have, you know what I'm saying, in the in the family, in the cipher, but that's anywhere, you know what I'm saying? If we in the community, you know what I'm saying, it's the men and the women, right, who gotta create the condition, you know what I mean, for the children to be able to thrive there, rather it's establishing education, you know what I'm saying, rather it's establishing the safety in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Because see, that's something I drew up years ago. Is that even in the street, guidance is needed. Like once you got the older generation is like 19 now or something. Like before that, you wasn't really gonna have kids on the block doing dirt because the men was out there doing dirt. Not justifying what they was doing, but just saying that it still was a level of guidance. It still was something where, even as a younger person, you could look at what was going on. See, because we're young people, this is characteristic of them. They never think it can happen. No matter what's going on, when you're dealing with the young generation, you know what I'm saying? They don't think that can happen. But that's a whole science, you know. But my whole thing with that always, man, is we allowed ourselves to be backed into a corner so much, And with a lot of things, we do that with inactivity because we're not activating nothing. We always getting backed into these corners. So now with the welfare state, even though it's killing us in a certain way, to another degree, if we cut it off, just cold turkey right now, there's so many people that wouldn't be able to survive. because we've come so accustomed to it. That's you know, like how many I'm talking about babies. Like how many babies would have to go hungry if we just said, all right, look, we're gonna turn our back on the welfare state. We're gonna turn our back on the welfare state cold turkey. How do we wean ourselves off of that? Like, there's got to be a building blocks to that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Rob Bourne bringing up that point, that brings up another question, right? Just like I said, look, are we trying to achieve social equality before we've achieved some social power that needs to be respected, right? And then, well, everybody pretty much, but, going with that last point of Rob Bourne brought up how it changed the way we live, right? Once the welfare state came into play, right? So now does that ask the question, right? Of, are we trying to uh, achieve social equality, right? Before we've achieved social power, right? But look, do we need to uh, adjust our culture? You know what I'm saying? Within society, our culture, like, it's things you got with your culture, right? It's things you do that don't affect the greater society. The greater society doesn't get a chance to, even know what you do in that realm. You know what I'm saying? But the things that we do that's out there, as it applies to society, meaning, how we educate ourselves, et cetera, those types of things, is our way of life, right? To, uh, does it lack what it takes for us to live a certain way, right? And have discipline to develop that power. Queen Medina said, how about making the fathers pay for their children? It's funny, I was watching, and I don't want to get sidetracked, but I was watching some stuff about toxic femininity earlier on YouTube. That's actually, I got caught up watching that stuff. I would have been on earlier. But, I mean, let's, we can deal with that issue too. Um, that's an aspect. But, I'm gonna tell you what it is with me, right? I'm uh I'm uninformed. I think is the best way. I think is the best way for you to put that, because, um, like, in my family, that's really unheard of. Like, I only knew, uh, it's only one guy. Is one man in my family who, you know, uh, he, we didn't really grow. We know who he is, but we didn't grow up with him knowing, he never really interacted with us. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole other long story where, you know, there's things in my family too. My everybody's family story is a little bit crazy. But me personally, I don't blame. I don't. I don't. I kind of like, what you did was wrong, but I think I know why you did that. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but I didn't even know that there was men that didn't take care of their family till I got to high school. You know what I'm saying? All my uncles, my grandfathers, my great grandfather, you know what I'm saying? So I never really knew about that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have girlfriends. So it's not like I'll be talking to my girlfriends about what their baby father's doing. You understand what I'm saying? So uh, I'm uninformed really on that topic. You know what I'm saying? You know, and when I'm out and about, I see a lot of brothers, uh, doing what they got to do. I see a lot of brothers. You know, you said going out for a pack of smokes, then they never come back. I mean, I seen that on TV. You know what I'm saying? You know, do we, you know, uh, I can't be as that's yeah, that's but now because Rob Bourne asked a question right here when he said child support. You know what I'm saying? See, we have to, and I don't know if that's why he asked a question, but see, that's something that because see, child support is also a part of the welfare state, and that's something that's changing the way people live. You know what I'm saying? You know, case in point, uh, and this is a Hotep channel. I'm not, we talking about what we might could do to repair our situation. We not, casting blame saying it's this person, that person. You know what I'm saying? But once upon a time, right, when the man and the woman got divorced, the woman just went back home to her family. The man kept everything. He kept custody of the children. He kept all of the property, et cetera, et cetera. And as they changed the laws, you know what I'm saying, to grant women, custody, child support, alimony, et cetera, it changed the way people live. Not just black people, everybody. The numbers of people divorcing started skyrocketing. You know what I'm saying? Then you got uh, the post World War II era, where now you got women is coming into the workforce. It's still slow. It's not, you know what I'm saying? I guess for women, it's still not what they want it to be. But, women start coming into the workforce, you know, uh, the welfare state really starts to develop under Lyndon Johnson and the Great Society. You know what I'm saying? Even Nixon some. And so now that's changed the way, that's changed the way we live. So I can't, it's something I can't really, I don't know, if a brother from that did something like that, if I had a chance to talk to him, you know, I would ask him, somewhat about what his thought process was at least, so that we could save the young from going through something where they feel like they need to do that. Khalid Gassil said, I know a woman that comes to my job will tell you flat out welfare is her husband. She would never get rid of it. I mean, you know, uh, that's an issue. You know what I'm saying? That, that's a part of the other. That's the other end of the extreme. You know what I'm saying? Like you got the brother who is gonna go out for a pack of cigarettes. I guess like Queen Medina is saying, and don't come back. And then, on the other side, uh, you have, but that's something that's taught. If you want to know how indoctrinated a woman is, right? And they all, I haven't met one person, one of them yet, that I asked this question and they answer right away, unless they answer in a way that favors the welfare state, right? Ask a woman, is birth control health care? Now, let's go. Let me just first tell you my perspective. No, birth control is not health care. And, having babies is what healthy women do. So anything you do, you going to unbalance your system. That's some of the things they don't tell them about. I don't have the studies myself where I'd studied it all in depth myself. You know what I'm saying? But from what I understand, there's lots of uh, cancers and all types of situations that women go through. You know what I'm saying? After a lifetime dealing with, you know, all different types of birth control. But see, if they have that training, that okay, this is supposed to be healthcare, and healthcare is supposed to be free. Now, some of them, even though they had all this education, their nature kicks in where they realize when you ask them the question, they like, wait a minute, yeah, it's healthcare. You get it from a doctor. But then when they really think about it, they like, yeah, but that's not really, it's not like medicine. It's not saving my life. But that's one of the ways in which, you know what I'm saying, they've affected the minds of the people, man. Doc Mouse said welfare pays more than Mickey D's. Hey man. SW, oh yeah, they was firing shots. They was definitely firing shots. Ducking dies child support. I mean, see what it is child support gets funny. Like there's a basic level and everything that, a lot of dudes would would gladly pay. You know what I'm saying? But what happens is when the child support gets to a level where look, even if you and the woman were still together, you wouldn't be spending that kind of money on a baby. Now it becomes something to dodge and duck. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew a dude, you know what I'm saying, and he was very involved. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the child support, but one time he told me that he went to court and he brought in some pay stubs or something. The judge was like, nah, nah, nah. We need to see something else. Because, see, I'm trying to charge you as much money as I possibly can. See, that's too much power. Remember the Malcolm X movie? He said, like, that's too much power for one man to have. See, that's too much power, for two people that look, we're not getting along right now, clearly. And then you're going to give one person the power like that, over my life, really, now. Like there's some instances that I seen, like, look, let me tell you something. I seen a brother get a $1 check one time. I'm not playing. In fact, the brother comes on the lives. He comes on the lives. I seen a brother get a $1 check. See, this is why I'm saying that it has to be instilled in us as a people, right? That the family is the basic unit. You know what I'm saying? Because going through that child support, you still dealing with the welfare state. You know what I'm saying? You still dealing with a system. You know what I mean? It's still the judicial system. It's not the criminal justice system, but it's still the judiciary. You know what I'm saying? Which has made, you know, a large part of this activity crushing us, both of us. So we gotta have another solution except for that. Let me catch up. Almighty said we absolutely need to open communication for healing and broadening one's education before investing into the divine evil kingdom blindly. We have to get on board with the same common interest for the culture. It's Queen Medina. I see a lot of great fathers who stay, and I know a lot of bums who bounce. But I'm gonna tell you something. That's something about men. It's just the way we are. Like certain dudes that do, like dudes that's rapists, they don't go around dudes that's not rapists. The dudes that know they doing something that the principles of the whole is gonna you're not gonna be allowed to be around me. So and then what it is too. It's like I said. See, I don't have girlfriends like that. You know what I'm saying? Like just females that I call up on the phone and they tell me about what they going through with their baby father. You know what I'm saying? So in a lot of these situations, you're hearing the female side. And what I'm hearing of it's the same two people, but I'm hearing the male side of it. And so he's not saying that he's a bum who bounce. He's telling me about all the things, the trials and tribulations that he got to go through. So that could be a perspective of it. That's what I teach is I teach said there's, what some women are doing amounts to stealing sperm, aka the I don't need no man posse. All on a business. What's the deal? You you in the east or the west or the north? Queen Medina. Queen Medina said, "I never asked to be in the workforce. These people don't even cook for their children." I mean, we've all been forced to exist in this world. Some of these decisions, get made generations before us. Um, but that's why it's important for us to look at the history of how some of this stuff came about. You know, because sometimes you gotta reevaluate the decision. In almost everything in life. You know what I mean? You got to go back sometimes and reevaluate the decision you made before based on new knowledge that you got now. And you might go in a different direction. You know what I'm saying? But, that's another aspect of life that I've seen, is that, they pump all these dreams, just like they, pump all these dreams to young dudes that, you're going to be a movie gangster. You're going to be Feds magazine gangster. You know, they pump all these ideas to women about how great it's going to be for you to be in the workforce and have your own job. You know what I'm saying? Or, have your own money, et cetera, and not need no man. And then, eventually when you see, whatever it is, when you see it's not a dream, the dream is not really there. It was an illusion that was just pumped to you then. But yeah, right, Queen. Then that's the side of it I hear. The Almighty said it's wisdom time in corporate and small business. In the small business world, I'm on that way, encouraging sisters to go hard in regards to the black concept, the black first concept, etc. I mean, that's it. That's an issue. That's but I think that kind of alliance is breaking down. You know what I'm saying? The kind of feminist alliance, I think, is breaking down. It's starting to break down. I mean, hmm. Yeah, Queen Medina. That's this is one of the issues. What you're saying right here. If the woman is taking care of her family at home, cooking, I don't have a problem with her being given support. But when you got to get your nails done, hair done, children sloppy, then that's a no-no. I know that the state of Connecticut put the depot shot in this girl's arm because she had 6 children before 25. Is that like a rule or something? Oh, yeah. Yeah, see, this is when it gets too ugly. After 40, you work 40 hours a week, and then child support takes so much money you can't pay your rent. You know, uh, I mean, like I said, you dealing with the judicial system. You know what I'm saying? That you know we can debate what it was designed to do, but when Dred Scott, it was a judiciary decision. It's not a criminal court decision, but it's still the judiciary. You know what I'm saying? You know, Plessy, Ferguson, all of these is court decisions. So, you know, court is not the answer. Yeah, that's a point you brought up there, Davis. That always, sometimes I do kind of. I mean, it's not funny, but it's ironic. I think sometimes. Dove East made a point here. He said some men want to be a father and can't, being a father to everybody else, but not their own. That sometimes you see that where it's kind of like musical chairs or something with kids, where it's like you got the, person A, right, male A, right. He's his the woman he deals with now, she got kids, and he's at the house being a provider, right? And then there's another male B, right? That he might have a bad relationship with his kids too, but he's taking care of male A's kids, being a provider in that house. You know what I'm saying? Uh, the stepfather system is extensive. You got a typo here, Almighty. It says is two did RZ. Yeah, I think that's a typo. It's a couple of reports that you should do the knowledge to. One is called the 1986 Special Report on the Vanishing Black Family. I saw that one. Uh, and one called the 1973 Special Report on Welfare in the Fatherless Family. Is that the Moynihan? Is that the Moynihan one? Oh, it's two sides to the drama. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That when you listen to the male, tell his story, you know, the female is always crazy. She's doing all these things. You know what I'm saying? When you listen to the female side, the dude ain't shit. He's not taking care of nothing. So 1990 special report on child support. I didn't see that one. Kendall Rowland. Who's this you talking about, Queen Medina? He said the television program Hip Hop H's. You know, this is a Hotep channel. Almighty. All right, so you said we need to restructure our alliances. Okay, now who's our allies? You see what I'm saying? Because that's one of the things that's happened. You know what I mean? Like Rob Warren was bringing up. You know what I'm saying? We've made the welfare state our allies. Yeah, Shaquem made a good point right there. You know, is that the welfare state, is the path of least resistance. And so sometimes we too easily fall into that. Because, there's a lot of, listen, let me tell you something. Even jail, right, in some aspects, is the welfare state. Take care of you in it. You know what I'm saying? And you can see how, you know, too long of being in there and being institutionalized, you know what I'm saying? And getting too used to, you know, the meals just show up on the cart. You don't really got to go out there and, go through the trials and tribulations, you know what I'm saying, of survival. And so you got some brothers that have become, mentally lazy and some even physically lazy too from being in there too much. You know what I'm saying? They don't know. They don't know how to structure their own lives because that kind of welfare state, you know what I'm saying, that or that that type of structure that they give you in there, you get too used to just depending on that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we got people, for instance, well, I don't know if they still, but I'm saying, when during, from the, I'm going back to the 80s, and the 90s. You know what I'm saying? You got brothers that go in the penitentiary, right? You know, when you see them back on the block, you know, they 240 pounds of muscle. You, you bounce a quarter off of them. When in a couple of months, they back to a 120-pound crackhead because they don't know how to structure their life out here without that nanny there telling you, okay, it's bedtime. That's interesting. So Queen Medina said that the time in Connecticut is the first time she ever heard of them forcing somebody to take the depot shot, but they will strongly encourage you to take that shot or lose your benefits, and your other children will not be entitled to support. You see, that's the wicked part. That's the you know that's where some of this disconnect comes in at, you know, and you know that's what kind of is strange to me when what I'm saying, like the brother was saying, you have women that tell you straight up that the welfare state is their husband. Yeah, that husband is abusive. That that husband is just as abusive as any brother I see. With the amount of hoops that the welfare state makes them have to jump through for whatever, $150 or whatever they give them a month. See, this is why a lot of times when you might bring that point up that the woman is, she's dealing with welfare. The woman is like, what are you talking about? Because of the trials and tribulations that they going through in that relationship. Kendall Rowland brought up Loving versus Virginia. Um, isn't that about interracial marriage? Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But that's what I seem to recall Loving versus Virginia to be about. Free of my stepdaddy nation. Yeah, true. Shout out to all the stepfathers. You know what I mean? Stay strong. Kendall Rowland said, I have heard cases where the father had blood tests and found out that the child was not his, and the court still demanded him to provide financial support. Um, from what I understand, in New York State, you got 2 years. Like after 2 years, you on the hook. You know what I'm saying? The reason I found this out, I would say probably in the last 5 years, I knew a brother who, for whatever reason, his relationship broke down, and when he went for the test, uh, you know, he was not the father, and like he had came in just under the wire, like it was like weeks or something. Where the judge was like, yeah, if it was another couple of weeks, you would have been on the hook. But so that's how I found that out. I don't know if that's necessarily related to what uh, you talking about, but in New York State, you got 2 years. Ali Kasil. See, outside rallies, man. I'm trying to be serious on this live, man. Y'all making me laugh. Right. Signing the birth certificate is that's another thing that gets you on the hook. And also, if you are married to a woman, any children she has, the assumption, the legal assumption, the legal default is that it's yours. Yeah, Maury, yeah, the whole, well, daytime TV pretty much survives off of original people's pain. You know what I'm saying? Everything, from, once the morning news goes off, like 9, 10 o'clock, until the evening news comes on, like 6, 7 o'clock, you see a lot of black pain. Free Almighty said men have to be honest about their love for their children. That will probably make women view us better through an alliance. Thus an alliance will emerge. So you're saying that the alliance needs to be between the black man and the black woman. Um, you know, I don't think, I think it's two things, two major factors. I'm not saying that's the only two things that's causing it, but one thing is happening is, uh, we got a lot of young brothers right now growing up in the gangster culture. You know what I'm saying? Growing up in a way of life where, you can't really have a lot of emotions. You know what I'm saying? You can't be, showing these kind of vulnerable sides and everything, you know, having these kind of connections that's going to hold you back in that world. You know what I'm saying? And I think you also got like a couple of generations of brothers right now that have been raised with the mindset that men don't really count in the family because and then this is something that happens. I understand why brothers do it, but to me, that's the wrongest thing you could do. When Father's Day comes around, you go on Instagram, and I see 5% is doing it. Father's Day comes around, and inevitably, people is saying Happy Father's Day to all the mothers out there that's being the mother and the father. No, you're not. You're not being the mother and the father. See, the other people that's getting that message is the son. So if you give your son the message that his father doesn't really count in his life, how is he supposed to see the importance of him in his kids' lives? So those is like two factors I think that's holding back brothers from expressing, how much love they have for children. Dev E said women is most important, especially around my ways. Situation is dropping mad with these young mothers. What is this, typos or something? But I mean, break it down. What you mean by that? Yeah, that's divine. Oh, hold on for a second, there, G. I'm just getting down. I'm running my mouth tonight. That's what. Whenever I start talking too much, I lose track with the comments. I just got up there. You said here for every $10 child support collect, only like four of that actually goes for the child support. The other six goes to child support case administrators in the office paying for the caseworkers, profits, etc. You see, like I said, that judiciary system is, you know, everybody could make your own decision what you think it was designed for, but the record is clear. You're right. There's a, you see colored people on Jerry and Maury, but they bread and butter. You know what I'm saying? And especially as it pertains to the viewership. Yeah, you see colored people on there, but the other colored people is ashamed of them. See black people, because look, I had my time doing it too. When I come outside, like, yo, you see Maury there, yo. You seen when they the one chick when she came on there with 6 or 7 dudes. Ah ha 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 ha. See, we entertained by that. Other people is not as entertained with, kind of, I'm not gonna say they not entertained by it because yeah, they'll go watch The Godfather, you know what I mean, The Colored Man, but they're not wholly entertained by that. You know, they could watch another movie about, lawyers, legals or whatever. I really don't watch it. You know what I'm saying? But they'll watch Titanic too, which is a love story. You know, uh, with us, you know what I'm saying? I was watching this thing with Spike Lee. You know what I'm saying? Where, and I've been seeing that, but I'm saying Spike Lee illustrated, and what he was saying is that, listen, uh, you know, they put out Boys in the Hood, you know what I'm saying? And we flood the movie theaters. You know what I'm saying? Ice Cube, he built a whole career. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Ice Cube. I'm just saying that he built a whole career off of that. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I'm pretty sure it was the director was John Singleton in that, right? So John Singleton directs in the Hood, right? Can't keep people out the movie theaters. You know what I'm saying? He does Rosewood. We don't show up the same. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, uh, there's a lot more to me exploitation of original people dealing with the Jerrys and Morris. Oh, Divine said, I know someone who signed the birth certificate and who later found out the child was not his. He went to court to get his name off the birth certificate. The judge did not. Yeah. Was it after 2 years? Because like I said, from what I understand, you got 2 years. You got 2 years to make your claim. Child support and welfare are systemic tools set up by the devil to divide and conquer through the destruction of the family unit, which causes breakdown of the communities, increases prison population. Well, uh, with these things, they've been through so many cycles with these things that's what actually makes them so effective when they execute them. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, uh, you know, this is what they did, or this was one of the final blows, right? One of the final blows to the Indians, you know what I'm saying, and their culture was to put them on a kind of welfare. You know what I'm saying? Where, look, the men don't, you can't come out here on the plains and hunt no more. First of all, we done killed all the bison that you was gonna hunt anyway. You know what I mean? This ain't the buffalo's not roaming out there. You know what I'm saying? So in the same way where you say, okay, boom, it's not jobs in our community. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, a lot of these communities we in now, we moved there because those was the factories that our parents and grandparents and great grandparents came to work at. You understand what I'm saying? Now you put them on a what you call it, not the plantation, the reservation. You see what I'm saying? To where, now, yeah, this is supposed to be your own land, but you fenced in. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it is a plantation. You know what I'm saying? And we bring you stuff here to the store on your, whatever. But we giving you liquor and cigarettes. We ain't really we not giving you nothing that's really gonna you know uplift you or nothing like that. You see what I'm saying? So these are things that they've done, over and over again. You know what I'm saying? Just like the drug stuff. You know what I'm saying? You had the opium in China. All of this stuff, man. They practice. You know what I'm saying? Or I wouldn't say they practice on different people, but they got in practice by the time they got to us. You know what I'm saying? So this is why things happen so quick. You know what I'm saying? Within, you know, the like I said, from the Great Society, we talking about the '60s to now. They've destroyed something that you know the you know first of all lasted. The family unit, right, being the basic unit of society is that's thousands of years old. You know what I'm saying? The black family unit, survived slavery, survived the Klan, survived, you understand what I'm saying? But then in the short order, he was able to destroy it through that system. You know what I mean?
Yeah, peace to the God, man. Peace, peace,
Peace. Son.
peace, man. They not, man. Just OG checking in, just checking in, man. I see you. I like your rationality, man. I see you going in, God. I see you going in, man. I like it, man. I see you do it. You do it with a do. I like it, man. I know you didn't call. You didn't kind of seen on my you seeing me on my little troll mission over there, so you're like, oh, the God is totally different. Like, what the hell is this? Yo, he said, I know you was like, what is he doing? You like, yo, what is he doing? Yo. I'm just ending the year off with that. That's all, man. But yeah, I just came to, yeah, I think this is a good
Yeah,
bill. It's a good bill right here. Um, I mean, I think you covered all of the bases. Just put it out there like that. And the family unit, like you saying, that's the basis of our existence. But just being in America, period, like the workforce is different than any place in the world. The people that live here, us, the citizens here, we work more than anybody else. I mean, so that already breaks up the family structure right there. Um, from doing what I do, I get to be around multiple different kind of people of multiple different ethnicities, and I get to go to their house or whatever. And I noticed something, and now is the value system is different, and the value system has to do with complexion, the complexion for the connection, but it's a social order. So when these individuals turn like 27, 28, they looking to get married. They not looking for a jump off or none of that. They looking to get married. Where us is kind of not like that. And I saw that, and I like literally, I have some people I've been training for 10 years. I didn't see them young, and I didn't. I'm hearing all of these. Like, oh, I gotta get. I'm like, damn, why are they like that? Whoa. In my mind, I'm trying to figure out what is making them think that way. Why are all of these women talking about they need to get? And I didn't understand that. So that's just another dynamic as far as like the workforce, value systems, etc. But I think the welfare state, as you said, like that right there changed everything, bro. Like we adopted a culture of the projects. We was never supposed to stay there. That was just supposed to be a place for you to
Right.
go until you get on your feet. We made that shit a culture. Know what I mean? And I never was supposed to be like that. Know what I mean, so drugs and all these. What are you supposed to do at the end of the day? Who's providing the food, clothing, and shelter? But where are these organizations that was providing these things prior to this welfare state? That got taken over by the European. Same thing with numbers and lottery. That's what we was doing. They took it over. Everything we did, they found a way to interject themselves, and the state took it over. You talk about free breakfast programs. The state took it over. Now your kid could go to school and get lunch and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I
I didn't get a chance to watch that one. I wanted to, I gotta watch that one about the programs that came from the Black Panthers that they took over that I seen on your
yeah,
page the other
yeah,
day.
yeah. I had a problem with my Zoom, so every time I did it, it kept cutting off. So I was like, damn, son. And then I would have to do it over. And I'm like, this shit crazy. I mean, but it's on my channel. You just look down on it, you'll see it because that's an older video. I just put it out there because we got different subscribers and don't know what we talk about. So, I mean, that right there, in 4 years, those young brothers and sisters created 66 programs that outlines everything that we need from our own ambulances. Imagine that. Remember in the 90s, what's his name? Public Enemy, that song, that late 911 is a joke. You call them dudes, they never come. I mean, so that was happening in the 70s. So what did the black people do? They said, okay, we gonna make our own ambulance. So they got their own thing. They like, okay, we suffering from sickle cell. We gonna do our own sickle cell research. Okay, we gonna teach our own self-defense. Okay, we gonna make our own independent liberation schools. And a couple of them are still around today in Oakland right now. They're graduates and all of that. I mean, so everything from seniors. The seniors had a problem going to the store because dope is out at that time, and they getting robbed for their social security checks, and they getting robbed for their stuff. So what did they do? They said, okay, we're gonna protect the seniors. Yo, that's something different, bro. Like in 4 years, they made 66 programs to address every single need of the black community. That's crazy. So I purposely
Hmm.
didn't mention the guns. I purposely didn't show them. I did that on purpose because I feel like that was the thing that scared the hell out of the establishment. Like, yo, we can't have these dudes provided for the people because then they're gonna have power over the people, and we don't want that. We want these people to be consumers and be happy and go to school and serve us. Don't try to build for yourself. What are you doing? No, we got this. The state got it. Oh, look at your man, he's gone. Then you see the jobs changing, the gender wars begin, the women get pushed up in specific positions, etc. Even though they get pushed up, they still making less than the white woman, but they making more. Then that creates a different dynamic between the man and the woman, and it's crazy, bro. So what's the solution? We can point this out all day, like we here now. The welfare is here.
Hmm.
I mean, people ain't giving up them EV. And you know what got me mad, God? Then I'm gonna turn it over. When I touched down, and after a year and a half, I got everything straight, got my job. Now I'm in school doing my 1-2 step. I start going in the store and I start noticing things that I never paid attention to. So I'll see a dude in the store with the Pele Pele on, with the $400 sneakers on. He had I think Red Monkey was popping back then. He got all this shit on. And this dude pulling out an EBT card talking about, yo, let me get it backwood. So I'm like, hold on, my tax dollars is going for
Right.
you. You don't need this shit. And then, yo, you from where we from? You from here? How is there Lexuses and Benzes in the driveway of a fucking projects? What is a Benz doing
Yo, guys, have you noticed that? You noticed that
there?
too. And you know what else I noticed? You know what else now? I'm gonna tell you something. Okay, look, I used to rush in the project. So that's just something I noticed, man. Every apartment in the projects got air conditioning now.
Yeah,
Like when you look at the front line, all the cars that's around the projects, like before, it used to be like cars where the fender be a different color and all that shit. Now, like you said, niggas got brand new cars. You be like, damn, this the projects? And the
Yeah,
hood
son.
projects too. You like, this ain't like no middle income shit right here.
So now it
But yo,
becomes
I
a
have noticed that, man.
yeah.
But
So
like you said,
now
that's how much we normalize that culture.
it's a different generation now. So now we have these new generation of new babies, and now I can't speak for every state, but you got wards and all these different things. What is it that we do, bro? You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean add on to our own social equality or add, what do we do? And I think that's where we at now. And then we faced with the political problems, and it's getting to the point where they trying to make us obsolete, bro. If you don't have a specific skill, my man, you obsolete. We don't need you no more. You didn't build this up. You did everything that you needed to do for us. We don't need you anymore. Your services are no longer needed. You a consumer, yeah. You give up trillions of dollars, but you ain't creating anything. So we'll take that, but we don't really need you. You can stay at this level here, and I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't have the answer. I don't have an answer. All I know is now, work on yourself, be a productive member in your family, and add on. I mean, I don't know what to do. It's just crazy when you look at all of this and be like, damn, like I was literally walking by St. Nick. That's where my aunt used to live. So I used to, and I'm like, yo, what the hell is this Benz doing in here? That's
Hmm.
crazy, son.
Yeah.
Think of all of our music. Like we gonna
But you know,
represent where we come from. What Nas talking about the 40 first projects, and you talking about Bailey. I can name every project that I've probably never been with. I can name Edgemere, Far Rockaway, I can name the Ville, I can name Albany, and all of these projects is thrown out. And everybody that's not from New York know about these places. But what really is going on in them places? Is that a community you want to live in?
mm,
Must we tell you that it smells like piss in the elevator every time you come in that motherfucker?
yeah,
You know what Stuyvesant Town is at, G?
14.
Right. So I have a client that I be training in that is a parking there. So, 3 times a week I go down there until it gets real, real cold, and then we gotta go inside. But we know that's a projects, bro. That's what that is. Like, if you went inside of one of them, you're looking at a project. Like the apartments are set up by the project, the mailbox, everything. That is the projects that been fixed up to look like what you see right there, bro. And I'd be like, damn, so why this can't happen to all of them? You don't smell like piss in the whole way there. And they charging people
Mm,
$3,000, son, to live in one of those shits, bro.
yeah. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Stuyvesant is some kind of public housing. Remember, they had an issue with that where they was trying to sell it to some company and it didn't
Right,
work out. And
right.
the city was trying to sell it.
So,
Yeah, but that's a good point. That's a point that I make too to people that, personally, I think it's already happened. You know what I'm saying? Meaning like in 1700, right? Only the black man and the black woman could do the labor that they needed. You know what I'm saying? But through the industrial revolution and now the digital revolution, you know what I'm saying? You don't even need a person on the scene. You could have somebody in India type on a computer and the machine operate the way it's supposed to operate in Iowa. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that before. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that I seen. Just in terms of uh, the automation, the immigration, all these different things. They could go full blast with it now because they can't get anybody to do this stuff. But Free Almighty, yeah, Free Almighty, good looking on that. What you call that again? The super chat.
super chat. Yo, God,
Yeah,
you gotta get your cash app, man, and pin that shit so it's at the top of your thing, bro. Get the cash app, bro. Just sign
yeah,
up,
I gotta figure it out.
get the
I
cash
got
app.
Cash App. It's on the scroll right there though.
All right,
But
so look, when you
Free
get
Almighty,
yeah, go ahead, my bad.
Free Almighty asked a question, or he made a statement right here. Most of our men are in prison, sick, intermixing, or gang members, so it weakens our natural alliance as well as resources. is there actual number, maybe a percentage number, right, of all the brothers that's in compromised positions? You know what I'm saying? Meaning, these things that you just named, in jail, gang members, homeless, all of the what's the name. Because to me, that's one of the things that has to happen. You know what I'm saying? Is that, we in a society, right, where we look at the colored people, right, and we judge them by the top colored people. You understand what I'm saying? But we're judged, right, by the bottom original people. You understand what I'm saying? So it's one of them situations where we gotta pick the floor up. You know what I'm saying? Which is what, when you was just saying about the Black Panthers, you know what I'm saying? That's what they was doing, is bringing the floor up. Like they didn't have, like right now, that's one thing you got all this Black excellence and all this type of stuff like that, where, we push Tyler Perry, you know what I'm saying, from 100 million to 200 million to 300. You understand what I'm saying? But
Right, right.
we don't have nothing providing
You
a
you
floor.
you on point with that, and there is numbers to that. Not as the gang members, you won't have that. But like for instance, since we talking about the welfare state, the most people on welfare are Europeans because they outnumber us, right? They outnumber us here. But as far as percentage of the population, I'm saying because we only make up, I think is now 13%. The Latins beat us with that now. That's a different number. So when we deal with the prison thing, that's different. There's only 2.1 something million people locked up, all right, in the whole United States. So that's only 2.1 million people. And if we add that number, I think it's like 85 or 80% of them are African Americans, and then the rest, I think I can't remember. I don't want to give a wrong number, but it's over 50% of us that make up that population, right? And then you have the Latins, they come right next to us, and then there's your and everybody else. So let's take these numbers in consideration. You just hit it on a point. They point out the low part. There's 45 million Black people in America. Out of that 45 million, half of those people are Black. So the majority of men are not in jail. I want to repeat that. The majority of Black men are not in jail. So when we also look at those numbers and put it in consideration, because of the number of what we make up, it's a high population of us there. Prime example of what they do, let's say what they just did in Oregon. They just made legal selling coke. I mean, basically coke and dope and meth is legal right now and over there. Why did they do that? Because over there, all of those Europeans are the ones who are hooked on that shit. And the ones who are selling it, there's Black people, but there's more of them hooked on it. So I was like, damn, son, like, how y'all do that? Like, why you ain't do that when the crack shit was out? You let this shit rock out for 25, 30 years. I mean, like, why
Hmm.
you ain't do that? Y'all did some totally other shit and made whole laws to like mess people up. So now when you have those brothers that come home, once you got this F, bro, that's like you ain't never getting rid of that. So yeah, that becomes a problem. And then you have the recidivism rate where you'll have 40% of people who come home, 60% of people who come home go back to jail within 3 years. That's crazy. That don't make
Hmm.
any sense. You know what I mean? So that's a revolving door. That's another number to add on. But like you said, there has to be a platform for us to outline who are the other original men that are here in America and what they're doing. That's not being spoke about. So what they push forward is these entertainers, as you said. Or you see us as basketball players. Like when you leave this country, yo, this shit used to get me mad, dog. I go to Italy, I'm out there chilling. Oh, you play for the Nets. You play for the Nets. I see you on TV. I'm like, what? Yo, this shit crazy, God. Yo, that's my word is born, son. Nigga asking me about play bad because I'm tall. I mean, yo, you a boxer, you boxer, you boxer. I'm like, what the fuck is you talking about? I mean, so why did when you see a Black American, this is what the world looks at us as entertainment, bro? They look at us as entertainment, not the business, not the black business billionaires, not that, as the entertainers, bro. So I think you on a point like that, and we have control over our voice. We control this. You have a platform, multiple people have platforms. We control what goes out. They don't control that. We do. So who's coming in the person of the black man to represent us? Who's coming in the person? You like to say Allah came in the person of Farad Muhammad? Who's coming in the person of us? And that we can change. But
Yeah. Well, that's kind of related to what Kendall Rowland was saying. I think a lot of these young brothers are victims of growing up without seeing a cohesive relationship between a black man and a black woman. Black children need to see that it's therapeutic. You know, yeah, that's the thing. But I don't, like I said, I'm not sure who had mentioned that. You know what I'm saying? But I was saying, that's my I had asked the question. Are you saying that the way that hip hop changed, you know what I'm saying? Like the images that it showed you, meaning like, uh, going from, Queen Latifah to Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Queen Latifah and Cardi B, but just saying that the difference, you know what I'm saying, that is showing you, you know what I mean? Maybe a better example would be Meg Thee Stallion, you know what I'm saying? Because they both, uh, but, you know, uh, that's the whole point is that, you know, these images, like he said, you go to Italy, you know what I'm saying, and they're affected by that imagery, but we're affected even more by that imagery amongst our own self. You know what I'm saying? I saw it was a documentary one time about Chelsea projects. You know what I'm saying? Most people uh know Chelsea project. That's where the Wayans is from there. You know what I'm saying? Damon Wayans and all of them. And
uh-huh. Where's
they
that?
built,
Where's that at?
like, once the area became gentrified, they built like an exclusive type school over there. That this is where like diplomats and politicians and billionaires and everything, they go to the school, and it's right across the street from the projects, right? So the people in the projects was like, when they first saw the new school being built and they heard, yo, it's gonna be all this special kind of instruction there, they all was trying to get on the list. You know what I'm saying? Like they wanted to go there, but they wasn't allowed to go there. You know what I'm saying? And so it was about uh the different kids that was kids from the projects was being interviewed, and kids from the school was being interviewed. You know what I'm saying? And one thing, a lot of things stood out, but one thing that stood out to me, right, is that um all of the kids, and of course, they colored people, but all of the kids that's going to the school, right? They was asking all of them, the kids from the projects and the kids from the school, what you want to be when you grow up. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's your dreams? What you want to when you grow up, what you want to do. And all of the kids that was going to the school, that was, yeah, I'm gonna go into this. I want to be a doctor, an investment banker. I want to go into this business, that business, whatever. Yo, just like Rob Bourne was saying, every single kid from the projects had a pipe dream about being some kind of entertainer. And I'm not saying that they wasn't talented enough to do it. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm just saying that not everybody, no matter how talented everybody's gonna be, we ain't gonna all do one thing. You understand what I'm saying? But it just goes to show you how these images, you know what I'm saying, the you know, that you said, look, black mothers and fathers, black professional people. You understand what I'm saying? People that's in all different professions. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something that happened to my generation is that, you know, people doing all the struggling. You know, kid, I went to junior high school with kids. You know what I'm saying? And when winter break came, like this time right now, when we got out of school for Christmas, I was walking up the block and I heard somebody beeping the horn at me. It's a kid I went to junior high school with. Like, dude, I just seen you in August in the summertime. How you doing with the car? Yeah, son, I'll be on the app now, man. Yo, I got two more. So, when you seeing all of the people that's trying to do righteous struggling, you know what I'm saying? And all the people that's doing wrong prospering, it sets up a value system in your brain that to me is still perpetuated. You know what I'm saying? Even through these stories, you know what I'm saying? Where, you know, you gotta do like Rick Ross, where you still perpetuating something that's been over for 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Even right now, I tell people that a lot of regular people that you work at the post office or wherever you work at, but the lifestyle you live in is of a 1980s drug dealer. Like the clothes that you wear and the places that you go and the amounts of money that you think is cool to spend, this is from a different kind of lifestyle, man.
Yeah, you definitely on point,
Oh
God.
man, you went back.
But I just wanted to shout you out. I mean, if I could share the channel, I'll share it. You know what I mean? Get it on. Y'all people that just entered the chat, you see every time somebody like the show that a new person pops in. The reason they pop in is because when you like the video, the notifications go out. YouTube be playing with these channels, man. They play with my channel, they play with everybody's channel. You gotta hit the like button. When you come in, hit the
Yeah,
like button, smash the like button, bro. I mean,
that is what I
it
learned.
it don't take nothing but a half a second. So as soon as I put that in there, y'all hit the like button, then you start seeing new people come in the chat saying peace. Gotta hit the like button, y'all. But yo, you doing good. You know what I'm saying? Keep it up, G. I'm gonna try to hit you up, man. I wanna do a build. Wanna do a build. I mean, but don't pay no
All
mind
right.
to me what I'm doing, man. Don't pay no mind to what I'm doing, God. Don't pay
Nah,
no mind to
nah,
me.
that's my entertainment, guy. That's my Jerry and Morty.
Yo,
That's
you, yo, you saw what I did today? You saw
nah,
what I
I
did
gotta check
today?
it when I get off.
All
Nah, I gotta check it when I get off.
right,
But
man.
yeah,
Peace, yo.
listen, man. I live for that stuff.
Peace, God. Peace to the gods on the earth in the chat. Y'all got
Peace.
some very informative builds and questions going on in there. Peace.
Peace to the God. And that's my entertainment. I used to be a daytime TV junkie, man. Like I used to not miss an episode, man. You know, and then one day I realized that I was participating. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like not Dave Chappelle say, yo, cats are laughing. And then one day I realized they ain't laughing with me, man. They laughing at me, you know, and I'm participating. Like that's what I realized after a minute that I'm participating in this, man. I'm perpetuating it too. So then I just went cold turkey. So since then, yeah, that's what I do. I watch YouTube. You know, to tell the truth, that was really kind of destroy everything for TV for me. Because once I stopped looking at that, I started realizing, I really don't watch nothing else on it. Why am I paying these cable people $250? It's yeah, though, man. Shout out to Rob Bourne. Kendall Wilson said, I heard that welfare was originally created for white women because of deadbeat white fathers. They always want to put a black face on welfare, but there's more white people on welfare than black. Um, Now, to my knowledge, welfare, the the welfare is from FDR and the Great Depression. Like welfare, Social Security, all these kind of things was a part of uh, the the New Deal. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, the New Deal was for colored people, and then uh, over time Lyndon Johnson extended all of these programs, right? During his program called it the Great Society. But in terms of it originally uh, being for colored people, that's true. You got that right, Queen Medina. If you don't have no black society, I mean, if you don't have no black family, it's going to be pretty difficult to produce a black society. Yeah, 793. That TMZ is crazy, right? Look, when TM even me, I'm like, man, TMZ is too much, man. Okay. I don't watch that. Trying to catch up to y'all in the comments real quick. So how you think we could use those things? I mean, I definitely see how we could use Section 8 to our advantage. But how would we use child support to our advantage? Child support is a little bit different situation because, for one thing, like what Mr. Green was saying, you know, the child support system is, they taxing you. You know what I'm saying? You get them $10, the baby get four of those dollars. So, uh, Queen Medina, you said they changing the name on some of the PJs so the gentrifiers don't know. Is that you saying like? Because I know there's a couple of projects that's been like converted. Like I think Metro South is like condos or something now. I'm still catching up here. Dartmouth said children can't be what they can't see. Absolutely. Yeah, it's a bad time to be locked up for homeless right now, man. Especially the way uh, the 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 COVID appears to be running extremely rampant in the penitentiary. You said, look what happened with the Africans in PA. Nah, I don't know about that. What happened? Oh yeah, the welfare queen. I remember that lady. I remember that lady. They had her on the news. For people that don't know, in when Ronald Reagan was running for president, And of course, he had the value system that you know too much money was going to black people, through the welfare state, and that the money was being misused. And so they found some lady. She showed up at like the welfare place with a fur coat on, like something great. She was from Detroit, but if you look it up, you'll find that there was a lady that they used as the welfare queen. Greenwood said in around 2000, Dr. Claude Anderson spoke on and warned our people of inappropriate behavior patterns culturally and technology that would drive our people into a permanent underclass status by the year 2010. Hmm. But, one thing about Claude Anderson, he's seen he's seen a lot of the situation from eyes open point of view. You know what I'm saying? Like Claude Anderson wasn't just living life, so he do have a lot of insight on things that other people don't. Um, I'm trying to think. Could we say that now though? I mean, we pretty close, absolutely. But I mean, could we definitely put that title on right now and say, you know, black people is a permanent underclass in America? I know that there's some people that's probably permanently there, but as a whole, you know what I'm saying? Is that something that we would qualify that as right now? The mass incarceration of black people started right after slavery, 1865. They made up laws for crimes that they knew we would commit, black codes and pig laws. I never heard of the pig laws. What's the pig laws? Uh, but I do know what you're talking about, which like I told everybody that the new the new trading post for slaves is the courtroom. That's the new trading post right there. You see what I'm saying? Because when you look at the 13th Amendment, it tells you that in jail is slavery. So the same way you used to get on the block and they size you up, you know what I'm saying? And whichever owner comes and pick you for whatever plantation you're gonna be on, you know what I'm saying? When you go into the court, they size you up. You know what I'm saying? You a maximum security risk, medium security risk. Your classification is this or that. You understand what I'm saying? You a violent felon, non-violent felon, and all of that decides which jail you go to. Which plantation you go to. So I do the, I got a whole science built up behind that. We could go in on that. You know what I'm saying? But what are the pig laws? I never heard of that. Free Almighty said hip hop is a major tool key to our culture. We need to re-guide the it says here the money towards Africa contents for powernomics. Um, you know, the thing, it's the signs, man. Got the guy infinite, guy infinite. Right, we start talking about hip hop, I see the guy infinite. Peace to the God. Um, you know, with hip hop, the issue is kind of like inclusion. I'm not sure what the word is, but it's you know, it's not that the entire hip hop culture turned negative. It's that uh we don't have the whole of hip hop culture is not being shown. You know what I'm saying? Like there's artists out there that's doing all types of music. There's all types of people, but that's not the sexy stuff, And that's why I said that. Listen, a lot of times, just like I was just saying, well, I stopped looking at daytime TV. I stopped looking at Maury, Jerry, Judge Mathis, all of the stuff like that, because I realized that I was participating. So see, as fans, you know what I'm saying, we got to open our eyes a little bit more to the other stuff that's out there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, one type of uh, one type of rapper, like right now, can you actually be a mainstream rapper without being gang affiliated? Is that even possible? You know what I'm saying? Without you being, gangster, you know what I'm saying? Like if it was today, there never would have been a Biz Markie, you know what I'm saying, or brothers like that. You see what I'm saying? So, I think, we kind of got to stop buying in to the way the images of hip hop is even showed to us. So then we start getting caught up. You know what I'm saying? To the point where, this is what I'm saying. Watch how this mentality affect you. You know what I mean? See, if you look at hip hop, right? You would think that all of our youth is like that. You understand what I'm saying? You would think that, and then now you in a whole other mindset when you even encounter somebody young, you know what I'm saying, and how much you ready to invest in them, whether it's knowledge, whether it's time, whether it's whatever, you know what I mean? Because your mind has been distorted to think that, yo, all these young kids out here is crazy. So hip hop generates $40 billion a year, which could have transformed inner cities if giving back was permitted. Um, there's giving back, you know what I'm saying? But there's also um it's also about, ownership and control. You know what I'm saying? The greatest, or one of the greatest examples of ownership and control to me is the Jewish community with their culture, standard. You know what I'm saying? So now, you know, there's a whole bunch of things that Jewish people buy that you really can only buy from other Jewish people. And I'm not saying we got to set that system up like that in hip hop, but I'm saying that what happens with our culture, you know what I'm saying, and things that we invent, things that we accomplish, things that we establish a lot of time, is that we still have a desire to be a part of their social equality. And so, if the price to be a part of their social equality is giving up control of hip hop, right? A lot of people went for that. So, whereas everybody was doing their own thing, you know what I'm saying? You independent, you might got a label or whatever, but you still, you got to walk your dogs, you know what I'm saying, in order to get paid. You got to go out there and make music that people like. You got to do all of this kind of work. See, at a certain point, it became easier, when this one person gives you $40 million. What's the point of me making music that the fans like? I'm making music that this person they gave me $40 million like. Because you want to be a part of that social equality. You want to have $40 million so you can buy Louis Vuitton and live that the life of Riley or however they call it. And this is what we've done. Just like I was saying the other day with remember the what's the guy's name? Chris Rock. When Chris Rock had the movie about how all the hair care products that black women use is produced by the colored man. The colored man owns the company now. How many billions is that industry worth now? Because you got women now going, they get a weave for $1,200. They don't even call it weave no more. I was watching this show, and they call it a hair system. Hey, I heard some of these things could get like $30,000, $40,000. But I'm just saying that say Italian people come here, what I'm saying, and they make Italian food, you know, they own and control the industry. When the last time you went to an Italian restaurant? Now, you might go on a little cheap pizza shop. I'm talking about you go in an Italian restaurant and you see Indian people. The last time you went in an Indian restaurant and you seen Greek people. Like the Greek diner is that, I don't know if that's all over, but in New York, there's something called a Greek diner. That's a specific type of diner. But in order to do that, you got to focus on your own social equality. You understand what I'm saying? And not necessarily be worried about if you're wearing the same clothes that people wore to the Grammys this year. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that to me is more of the issue. Because look, it's always been dudes that was gangster. There's always been people saying certain things. Of course, it was much more camouflage. There was always, dudes they was letting that thing go off, man. That was making music, but that wasn't all that we were seeing. You know what I'm saying? That was just, one aspect of it. We, and that's a word that they use in reference to us a lot. You know what I'm saying? Rather, we mostly dealing with politics is being monolithic, meaning that everybody got one idea. Everybody is built in one kind of way, and it's not all these different people. So the pig laws fight or work laws regarding the war. If you don't go to war, you don't, or if you don't go to war, you have to work. That increase the vagrancy in the streets, right? And uh, loitering, loitering is I got to America after World War, after the Civil War. This is the war. This is the war that you're talking about, right? But I do know that loitering became like like now, even now you get a ticket for that. But that was a way for them to you know provide the prison labor. I never heard of it. I never heard that name before. Rome Fetty. Um, well, right now the classes at the school is you might be able to get in there on a Saturday at 1 o'clock or the last shot, but right now, um, Sunyez has his class on Thursdays at 7, but right now he's on quarantine. Like somebody in his family tested positive. He's negative, but somebody in his family tested positive. So because of that, the contact or whatever, he got to quarantine. So I'm not sure when he's gonna be back in effect. I'm uh, I'm on, like, I guess you could say, vacation until the first week. Well, not June 3rd. I'm starting back. I got the youth boxing class um, on Sundays at 2 o'clock. So we starting back with that on June 3rd. So then June 4th will be my first civilization class back at the school. 7 o'clock. No, 6 o'clock on June 4th. 6 o'clock on Mondays. 7 o'clock on Tuesdays. Oh, I know you're talking about Move. Yeah, when they bombed that block in Philadelphia. What was the name of that mayor? Rizzo. I always remember the name of the dude because they used to always be dissing him. The people in the move when they used to get their speeches. But I do as far as white supremacy, black people are the underclass of the world, not just America. James Harden Warrior is going to be the first seed this year. Yeah, you know that's definitely that's what we're seeing. You know what I'm saying? Right now you got new uh right now they appear to be just building trading posts. You know what I'm saying? But from my experience, we know what those trading posts end up becoming. You know what I'm saying? So, we see the Chinese now, you know what I'm saying, over in Africa, uh, you know, starting a trading post, let's see how it turn out, but that's definitely a factor. You said they're using music, a sonic frequency weapon. I mean, music itself, you know what I'm saying, is indeed music is vibrations, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you get into the mathematical level of it, you're dealing with hertz and megahertz and all this type of stuff. Uh, and different vibrations, yeah, they come in through different frequencies, necessarily uh, that there's particular frequency that they're using as a weapon. I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? But the hypnotic nature of music, You know what I'm saying? The just the thing about music, right? That makes people let their guards down. You know what I'm saying? Like you had a a, a family party. You know what I'm saying? Let's say like right now, it just was Christmas, right? The music come on, and you see somebody in the family let their guard down, like somebody that's usually mad reserved. Now you see them on the dance floor, they doing the electric slide. You know what I'm saying? When you listen to music, how you able to, block out other things, so then that gives the words in the music, what I'm saying, an easier route into your mind because it lets your guard down, you know what I'm saying? But to, see some of that stuff, you gotta realize they've been saying that from back in the days. Like when jazz music first came out, they said that jazz music was making the young people smoke weed and have sex, you know. But like some of the, I'm not into like all that Baphomet stuff and all that. I don't know what, I really don't know what that stuff is about. You said you think the heart machine is real. I mean, the heart machine is real. You know what I'm saying? It's been verified. It's just the powers that people give to the heart machine. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I'm not looking for the boogeyman, you know, uh, in everything. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of that stuff is like, yo, listen, when 6ix9ine could become the number one artist, what do you need a heart machine for? Like what do you need it? Like you clearly in control of these people. If you can make people like 6ix9ine, you can make people accept him. What do you really need the heart machine for? When you got, people that they get money, you know what I'm saying? They making music, and they outside in the street shooting at each other like they ain't got no money, and they got to struggle for survival against each other. What do you really need a heart machine for? You know. But of course, look, you know, uh, you know, with the music thing, you know, I like music. Music is my thing. So of course, maybe some of that is just defensive. Yeah, I don't see it. Right. If and it said the Asians do not wholesale hair to black business, so the hair products. Hold on, right there. Right. I feel like the key is nepotism. Exactly. That's what everybody else is doing. There was a lady uh, that I knew. She had a cell phone store. She probably still got it. You know what I'm saying? Last time I seen it, she had it. Business was going good, and she was talking about how she got her nails done at the salon with the Asian people. And so she was in there and she was telling them, yo, look, I got phones, I got phone cases, I got chargers, all this different stuff. So she said every time she kept offering the people something, saying, yo, come down to my store, they was like, nah, we good. She's like, nah, I got stuff is right there. Like they was like, nah, we good. So then she said eventually whatever happened, it came to the point where she asked them again, and the Asian lady said, nah, I only buy from Chinese people. There's something to that. You know what I'm saying? There's something to it that uh, like you said, even on the business level, you know, at least the legal business, you don't even do business with each other. Like this, this company has to buy things from that company. Like, if you're a restaurant, you gotta buy food. You know what I'm saying? You gotta buy these disposable plates, forks, all of this type of stuff. You know, we don't even have that level of it. The only people that's benefiting, from this kind of open economy, you know, what they call it when the what we talking about right now is something called protectionism, where you protect your economy from outside forces. You know what I'm saying? And the top capitalists don't like that because they're international companies. So doing business all outside the network and everything, it works for them because they're connected to the entire network. Hmm. Jarrell Boylan said in the movie Madam C.J. Walker, they touched on that with how she made the deal with the colored man's drugstore and her workers boycotted because they knew they would be put out of a job. Hmm. Some smart women there to realize that. Queen Medina is stupid. I'm still going to let the Asians, I'm still going to the Asians and let them do my feet because they came all the way to America to do my feet. Man. Kendall Rowland said they love to play this minority game with us. The difference between other minorities and us is they come to this country with all their cultural cohesiveness intact. Our cultural cohesiveness has been ripped out of us. That's why we can't get right. And also being in on on uncommon ground. You know what I mean? Being on strange grounds. You see what I'm saying? Meaning like when black people first migrated to the north, you know what I'm saying, you had lots of blocks. Even when I was growing up in New York, you had lots of blocks where all the people around here is kind of related. They people who came from the same towns down there, you know what I'm saying? And then when they came, a lot of people, you know, uh, as they writing, calling, whatever back down south, they telling people, yo, I'm up here, yo, I got a job, I'm getting this kind of money, yo, everything is smooth, yo, the white people ain't bothering you. So, you had buildings where you might have, you know, two sisters and a brother, and then they got their families, you know what I'm saying? And they all live in the same building. But yeah, we definitely lost all that. That's one of the things that Rob Warren was talking about. We, we had conditions set up to where we could help each other before. So if you got two brothers and a sister on the same block, you know what I'm saying, and somebody lose their job, you know, they can depend on each other. They can fall back on each other. But now, like you said, that cohesiveness is gone. The parliament, I'm pretty sure, is gonna be on the parliament. I'm pretty sure is gonna be on Zoom again. Like I haven't gotten a specific word, But I don't, right now with the new uh with the new lockdown coming into effect, um, because I heard they was in Long Island, with the police pulling up to people's house if you had too many cars in your front yard, saying, yo, look, you must be having some type of gathering in there that you're not supposed to have. So I'm pretty sure. Infinite said, please explain. Explain what? Jamal Gray, you from Philly? You said it was Mayor Wilson Good? I thought it was Rizzo. Oh, Rizzo was the police commissioner. Ah, that's why they was okay. Thanks for that correction. All right, I finally caught up to y'all. Remember back in the days when every person's house you went by had a man and a woman and kids, and where your cousins, nephews, nieces were, yeah. We used to be, uh, in neighborhoods where, families, extended family units, extended family units, people from the same towns and everything. And like you said, people that come to this country, they have that same type of cohesiveness. You know what I'm saying? Where they right back home, they save up money so other family members could come over here. They sponsor them to get their green cards and all these different types of things. You know, our allegiance has become too connected to these blocks. These neighborhoods. I'm from this hood. I'm from that hood. I'm from. You know, we gotta expand the idea. You know what I'm saying, of who we need to have unity with. Dartmouth said drums were outlawed during slavery because of their rebellion effects on slaves into the invention of jazz in New Orleans. I didn't know that. I would think another reason, I'm not saying that that's not a reason, but possibly the reason why it caused the rebellion effect is because remember the drums was a form of communication in Africa, I'm saying. So, we started beating these drums, and then everybody around here knows. You know what I'm saying? Like even I that was another thing that I read. I can't recall where I read it from. That especially warrior people, like people who had uh, military training in Africa, had to be separated. Like they couldn't put them on the same plantation because they'll make a move because they warriors. You know what I'm saying? And they got certain tactics that they know. You know what I'm saying? They got uh, covert ways of communicating and all of that because that's a part of military training. So they had to specifically keep these people away from each other. Regina says some people don't pay what they weigh. They don't want to put in their fair share, so we cannot practice good economics. You know, uh, and that is another issue, Queen Medina. Uh, I guess you could say kind of the history, and I'm taking it to another level. You're talking on a more, uh, person to person level, but uh, kind of the history of charlatanism and hucksterism has is brought about uh is brought about a suspicion, you know what I'm saying, of any kind of black leadership, and I'm not saying that that's not a factor, but I'm also saying that we also got to look at the aspect that that's something that the FBI set out to do. I'm not saying you gotta trust everybody. I'm not saying there ain't no hucksters out there. I'm not saying ain't no charlatans out there. I'm not saying no scammers out there. But what I'm saying is that that was a part of, you know, you putting out all the reports, right, of the rift between Malcolm X and uh, Elijah Muhammad. And you know how many churches the people had a fallout? You know how many churches they had to get rid of the pastor because he's having save equality unknown. He's having sex with all the choir or whatever. Why you didn't report that? See, they did that because they want you to stray away from black leadership. And I'm not talking about the merit of the leadership. You know what I'm saying? But look, even the how many people has the FBI interviewed? How many people has the FBI arrested? How many people have been locked up in California? Now look, I don't, we're not talking about the merit of it. I'm just saying that the reason why the FBI put all this out about fraud is because they want you to have a distrust of black leadership. See what I'm saying? The only reason for you to put all the stuff out there about Martin Luther King, you understand what I'm saying? Et cetera, is because that is one of the stated goals of COINTELPRO. So that's something that's definitely got to be dealt with, Queen Medina. You know what I'm saying? You really listen. You know, before you engage with any opposition, no matter what it is you're dealing with, the first people that must be dealt with is the traitors, the neutral people, the snitches. All of these people have to be purged from the ranks. We can never be successful against the opposition with friends like them. You know what I'm saying? What they say, man, with friends like you, I don't need enemies. But I'm just saying that we gotta, recognize and realize that fine line right there. You know what I'm saying? And not for a victim. You know what I'm saying? Right? Jamal Gray said my family came from South and North Carolina, got off the train in Philly and Newburgh, New York. Right? You know the joke about that, right, Jamal Gray? You ever heard the joke? Kendall Rowland said J. Edgar Hoover, the father of the FBI, said what I fear most is a black messiah. Exactly. And whatever whoever is a messiah at any given time, in any given place, you know what I'm saying? Their power is from the people. Just like the people need the Messiah need the people. What kind of Messiah are you gonna be if you ain't got no people? And who you delivering, you know, and how you a mailman and you ain't got no mail? Like, this is the job you supposed to be doing. So if they can get your people to stray away from you, you know what I'm saying? That is much more powerful than killing you. See, if I kill you, I could actually galvanize the people behind you and the ideas that you uh, came to teach. I'm waiting on Jamal Gray to tell me if he heard the joke so I could tell him. I'm sure you probably heard it. I don't know if it's I'm sure they know the joke down there too. While we waiting on Kendall rolling, everybody that made it this far, hmm, he said, "What's the joke?" I heard the the joke about the conductor yelling Newark, Newark, and some thought he was saying New York and got off the train in Jersey. Yeah, well, I guess the other joke that pertains to that is that the people in Baltimore and Philly, they was uh they was trying to get to New York, but they didn't have enough money, so the conductor put them on the train in Baltimore and Philly. And the people that's fucking like Newburgh and Connecticut and Boston, the people that's up in Newburgh and Connecticut and Boston, they fell asleep and missed their stop. But originally, everybody was headed to New York. Yeah, that's where everybody was trying to make it to. So I guess your family suffered both consequences. But everybody that made this far and alive, do the each one, teach one, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, of course. You know what I'm saying? Share this on your other pages. You know what I'm saying? Jamal Grayson sounds about right. Uh, Queen Medina said, I missed my stop, got off in Connecticut. Hey, man, these things happen, man, even to the best. Uh, uh, but like I said, man, share this on your other pages, your Facebook, uh, Twitter, Instagram, text message, Facebook groups, etc., etc. You know what I'm saying? This is a pretty good one right here. You know, we still got these questions. You know what I'm saying? The questions that do we need to go back step by step? Because sometimes that's what you got to do. You got to start from where you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Or something you want to accomplish, and then you got to walk back to where you at. You know what I'm saying? To see what's the steps you got to take to get from where you at to where you need to be. So, like I said, are we trying to achieve social equality before we achieve social power? And can we achieve social power, right, without the correct culture, you know what I'm saying, in our own social group? You know what I'm saying? In terms of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, like I said, we got tons of that. In terms of how many ideas, how many different ideas it is about how we can improve our situation, you know, how many speeches is out there, like we say all the time. Look, you can go back to Marcus Garvey, you go back to Frederick Douglass, and the things that people are speaking on in terms of the conditions that we in that need to be improved. You know what I'm saying? You know, same speeches apply. Everybody got to understand that we could break down the history and who's this tribe and where they went over there and all this stuff like that. We got all that part. Why is it not manifesting as social equality though? Not necessarily, you know, sometimes, you don't have equality with somebody, you got equality amongst them. You know what I'm saying? Meaning they doing their thing and you doing your thing, but y'all on the same, everything is balanced. So we probably explore this some of these questions again. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, shout out to the brother. What's his name again? The brother got shot in hold on, let me bring this up on the screen for the brother got shot right here. Uh Andre Maurice Hill of Columbus, Ohio. You know what I'm saying? Got shot and killed by officers out in Columbus, Ohio. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you know, that's what kind of sparked the idea for this live, you know what I'm saying, in terms of, you know, uh, all the protesting, you know, the the uh the looting, all the activity that happened this year, you know, in relation to justice, justice and equality. You know what I'm saying? In America, you know what I'm saying, with the economic system, with the vaccine, with the uh, police brutality, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? It made me think about that. You know what I'm saying? These things that we asking for in terms of social equality. Do we need to develop and manifest some social power that is to be respected? You know what I'm saying? By those that we choose to have equality with. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you meeting on separate footing. You're not, how they say in the Bible, we're not equally yoked. If we seeking to have a relationship with, people in the society, you know what I mean? But when two people try to have a relationship, each person gotta be balanced, you know, in themselves, in order for you to achieve balance with other people. So what we discussed today was some of the issues with us, gaining the balance, and some ideas for what type of action, what type of effective action we could take to bring about that type of change. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm about to say peace. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I catch y'all tomorrow, of course. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm gonna, do the New York thing that we do. Take a little quick trip to the store. You know what I mean? Middle of the night, we can do that kind of thing in New York still. And I see y'all tomorrow. Peace.